Right then, I want to talk about something else. Keir Starmer went to Baku, went to Azerbaijan, bear with me, for the COP conference. This is the COP conference that is about climate change. Conference of Parties is what COP stands for. It was here in the UK in Glasgow a couple of years ago. You may remember the big jamboree. And now, how many people do you think we as a government, we as a country, should be sending to Azerbaijan? I'll tell you the answer. 470 people. 470 people on a 5,000 mile round trip. I wonder what the carbon footprint of that is. Ralph Schoellhammer is political theorist and professor at Webster University in Vienna. Great to be back on with you, Ralph. Thanks for coming on the programme. I mean, this is just mad. It's just, I mean, on what planet do they say, I know, we'll send 470 people, that'll solve the climate crisis?
No, I think it's actually funny because last year in Dubai, about 85,000 people participated. This year in Baku, it was only half of it. So many of the most important politicians didn't go there, but apparently the British tripled or quadrupled their delegation to send there. So it must have been, like 2 or 3 people from any other country on the planet, and 50% of the attendance was Keir Starmer and his entourage. So if you needed any more proof how committed the current British government is to the madness of net zero, I mean, here you have it. And as you mentioned in your introduction, I would like to know, did they fly business class? Did they fly coach? Did they walk there? Did they take a bicycle?
I don't think they walked there.
That's what I think as well. That's what I think as well. And I mean, having the COP, like the climate conference in Azerbaijan, which has a budget that is fed almost entirely by the selling of fossil fuels, has its very own irony to it. But I guess that's the world we live in at the moment.
Well, absolutely. And as you say, a load of global leaders didn't even bother turning up. Joe Biden wasn't there. Xi Jinping wasn't there from China. The British delegation, the Mail on Sunday is reporting, bigger than the US, bigger than any other European country, and well, many of them, including France, Germany and Italy, according to declared official figures. Now, Keir Starmer, in fairness to him, has said he wants the UK to have a global leadership role in fighting climate change. He is very ambitious in all of this, and certainly, I mean, they are having a leading role in the number of delegates they're sending to the conference.
Yeah, apparently there are 2 things that Keir Starmer wants to fight. One is climate change, and the other one is freedom of speech in the UK. Both of these priorities are, of course, increasingly ludicrous. And I'm a foreigner, so I'm in no position to foment the revolution in the United Kingdom. So let me say it as polite as I can. I really hope that the British people will have the opportunity to vote again as soon as possible. Because, I mean, I know it's been covered by your station and by you, Peter, so we don't have to go over this again. But the things that are happening currently in the UK are a disgrace. It's shameful, and it's the current government. It's not the British people. I understand why they were voted into office. I understand the disappointment that was there with the Tory party. But I have to admit, I mean, Starmer is worse than anything anybody could have anticipated. So I really hope that he's out of office rather sooner than later.
Just in terms of you talk about the free speech elements there, and we're talking this morning about hate speech and various other elements within this. What should the law say, do you think? And are there countries in Europe or around the world that you're familiar with that get this right and do have the free speech that should be there? Because we're talking this morning, 2 examples. One is a swastika inside a Star of David being sent to the Union of Jewish Students, electronically, and the police say nothing to see here. And then there are many other instances where someone wrote, for example, a member of the House of Lords wrote, Hamas are Islamists, which is something that I'm not even sure Hamas would have a problem with. He's visited by the police.
No, I think that the whole concept of hate speech is a problem. And we know many free speech, like sincere, honest free speech fighters who made the same point. The problem is, and I talked about this when I was on your show a week ago, Peter, right, is that I simply trust in the good manners and the common sense of the British people. Most British people know how to behave. Most British people know what, so to speak, good form is supposed to be. You will have a couple of ludicrous crazies on the fringes who do these despicable things, and I fully agree with you. But there's always the risk that you throw out the baby with the bathwater. And if you think what happened to Alison Pearson of The Telegraph, I mean, what exactly, maybe you can explain it to me, but I tried to investigate it. I'm still befuddled by the new concept of non-crime incidents.
Yeah.
I mean, these are literally, and I don't mean it metaphorically, I mean it literally, because I try to use the term correctly. But these are Orwellian terms. Those are Orwellian ideas. You didn't commit a crime, yet the police feels obliged to pay you a visit. A very odd very threatening, very worrisome.
Yeah, I think a lot of people feel exactly the same way, not just where you are in Vienna, but here in the UK as well. Ralph, thank you very much indeed.